Why Khalil Rountree is Alex Pereira's toughest test in the UFC.
Let me give you the hot take of the day. Khalil Rountree is going to walk through Pereira. That is the worst matchup I could think of.
Alex Poatan Pereira is getting ready to defend his UFC light heavyweight belt against the 8th ranked contender, UFC vet Khalil Rountree Jr. at UFC 307 on October 5th in Salt Lake City, Utah. The fight announcement had everyone shook. Most folks thought Magomed Ankalaev was next up. I mean, the dude's ranked number 2, sitting on an 18-1 record, and his well-rounded game would definitely be a problem for Poatan. UFC surprised us by matching Magomed with another top contender, Alexander Rakic, and handing the title shot to Khalil, who's also a straight-up striker like Alex.
Was locked up for the moment. Body man, kick to the body. Wow, Khalil just folds him.
A lot of people are thinking, is the UFC trying to protect Alex's reign? But nah, MMA legend Chael Sonnen isn't having any of it. He's calling Khalil Alex's worst nightmare. He even dropped a WWE analogy to back his hot take.
This is SmackDown invading Raw. And let me explain. When we think of who's going to go fight for a title on pay-per-view, we think of other guys that have won a whole bunch of fights on pay-per-view. Well, Khalil was from SmackDown. He came from the other show. He's been fighting on the fight nights and at the Apex and things like this. He's still won 6 in a row. He stopped 5 of those sons of guns, and one of them's a former #1 contender, our good friend Lionheart.
Chael was just as shocked as the rest of us when this fight got announced, but the bad guy is all in on Khalil because of his fighting style and skill set.
We can't just overlook Khalil, and I will tell you this, Daniel, because I don't know how familiar you are or the rest of the fans are with Khalil, but he does his absolute best work when he's being attacked by a kickboxer. It's not Khalil swarming somebody or taking them down or submitting them. He is a counter fighter, and he loves when you punch or kick at him first. Khalil Rountree not only deserves this fight, and I'll admit, I was surprised. I didn't think this is the direction they were going to go, but I'll tell you a problem. Khalil's going to win this fight.
34-year-old Khalil Rountree's been in the UFC for 8 years, and he's riding a solid 5-fight winning streak right now. Sure, he's had his ups and downs, but one thing's for sure, when Khalil steps inside the octagon, you know you're about to witness a straight-up brawl. He's a savage, and that's why hardcore fans love watching him go to work. One reason Khalil's so wild in the cage is his arsenal of weapons. We're talking punches, kicks, knees, elbows, he's got it all. But he takes it to another level with brutal soccer kicks to the body. Remember that time he finished a dude by stomping on his knee during a stand-up exchange? Yeah, that's the kind of beast we're dealing with.
Just needs more. That's it!
Khalil's got the size, power, and technique to take anyone down, but what makes his story even crazier is his perfect underdog narrative heading into the biggest fight of his life. It's a different kind of mindset when you got nothing to lose. This dude grew up in a rough situation. His dad was shot and killed when Khalil was just 2. He ended up becoming an obese young adult who couldn't shake his vices.
At the time, 19 years old, 305 pounds, 2 packs of cigarettes a day, soda only, didn't even care. I don't care if I wake up today. I'm going to drink myself and hope that I don't wake up tomorrow.
A heart attack scare at 19 woke him up, pushing him to join an MMA gym to lose weight. But what started as a fitness journey turned into a full-blown mission to make it to the UFC. Khalil's story has inspired people worldwide, and now he's looking to put a big exclamation point on it. At UFC 307, one thing's for sure, it's not going to be an easy dub for Alex like some of his past fights. Khalil has already declared that he's not shooting for a takedown. He never has and never will.
In my career, I've never shot one takedown. That's not in my plans, right? I'm here to put on an amazing fight for the fans. Like this one, regardless of what anybody says, this is a fight for the fans. I think with my style, with his style, this fight's not going to disappoint.
This is going to be a straight up banger where they'll both be hunting for that KO from the jump. So who you got in this ace striker showdown, Pereira or Rountree? Drop your pick and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Sportskeeda MMA for all the latest UFC updates. Before we go out, check out the video on the left where we give tribute to one of the best fighters of all time, a Hall of Famer, an 11-time UFC champion, and a man with zero haters, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. Let's take a closer look at this legend and the trials and tribulations of the life he faced before being a champion in the game.